Flight Risk, directed by Mel Gibson and starring Mark Wahlberg, is about a U.S. Marshal who boards a small government plane to take a government witness to court. Hey, first one of 2025. Yeah, awesome. Anyways, I think this movie looks okay. I don't really like Mel Gibson as a person, but I think Hacksaw Ridge was pretty well directed, and it was the only film I've seen from him, and it's a 7 out of 10. I thought it was pretty good. Anyways, this movie takes place in one area, being a plane, which might end up being rough, but it's an interesting idea. Mel Gibson is a pretty good director from what I've seen, so he could make it work, and the acting seems fine from everyone. So I'm gonna go now and see it. I might be late for the movie, so I gotta finish this fast. I'll be back with my initial thoughts. Yeah, that was really bad. That was pretty terrible. That's gotta be like one of the worst films of the year, and it's the first film I've seen this whole year, and it was that bad. That was horrendous. I don't think Mel Gibson even directed that. I'm gonna get into it, but I don't think I have a single good thing to say. I maybe have like the opposite of a nitpick for something positive with the movie. It was really bad. I kind of hated it a lot. Yeah, so here's the review. Here's the actual review. And yeah. Can you feel the light? Okay, I can't even really categorize the good stuff in this movie because the only good stuff is like in really, really spare moments. Mark Wahlberg is a decent actor and he does an okay job in this. The writing for his character is pretty horrible, but I'll get into that later. The music is fine. The dramatic moments have decent music. There is one shot of a plane flying at sunset and it looked kind of nice. There's good gore at the end. The landing scene was shot kind of well. And the last minute is fine, I guess. Okay, that's it. Probably one of the worst elements of this film is the government witness Winston. The actor for him really sucks. He is not good whatsoever, and he kind of functions as this movie's comedic relief, but at the same time not really. I don't think this movie is trying to be funny very often, but whenever they do make a joke, it's from this guy, and they're never good. They all suck. I hate them. I don't think it gets too bad, and some of it can just function as filler background noise, but 80% of it is horrible dialogue. He really needed to shut up during this movie, and everyone tells him to throughout the movie, so maybe the point is that he's really annoying. But even if that's the point, he's still really annoying and serves no purpose. I guess I won't get into spoilers here, but Winston has a quote-unquote character arc where he becomes more likable as the film goes on. But no, actually, he does not get more likable at all, ever. When they try to make him more sympathetic, it does not work at all because he's such an annoying character, and the really bad acting doesn't make me care at all about what he's going through. The film also has horrible pacing, which leads to his kind of character arc being rushed way too fast. The other function he serves, besides quote-unquote comedic relief, is that he functions as a stand-in for what the audience is meant to be feeling, and it's also horrible. When there's a big bad fight, he yells something like, "Damn, this is so scary," in the background. I get that. I don't need someone in the background yelling what I'm supposed to be feeling. Horrible character. For the other dialogue in this film, it's also really, really bad. This movie has a really bad habit of making the characters talk to themselves, which can be done well sparingly, but this movie has so much of this. It's at least 20% of the dialogue in this film. Just right off the bat in the opening, Winston says at least 5 sentences to himself, and not whispering to yourself just announcing what he's thinking to the world. I guess that makes sense for him to do, but there's the other main character, the government agent, and she does the same thing too, and it's so annoying. I can't stand it. Additionally, this movie has really bizarre sexual comments, and I also kinda hate it. I get the point, I guess, but that doesn't make it feel any more strange and unnecessary. It really just felt like an excuse to make this pretty tame movie rated R. So one of the biggest things I was scared about going into this film was the fact that the entire movie takes place in this plane, and yeah, it was a pretty big issue with the movie. I really thought they were going to spend a little more time outside the plane before the film starts so they could establish characters and stuff, but pretty much 2 minutes in, they're already in the plane, and that's the rest of the film. The plane itself has some pretty horrible visuals. This is some of the most obvious green screen I've seen in a while. That kind of just leads me to feeling they're not in the air ever because it's so obvious they aren't. It looks less like a plane and more of a green screen room. The other biggest issue is that it's kind of hard to write an entire film inside of a plane, and yeah, they fumble that too. This movie has so much stalling. There are sections here where they just call people for 5 minutes straight, and it just consists of 2 shots the main character is talking on a phone. Since I guess they didn't have the budget to show any other actors, it's so slow and just pointless. barely anything happens in this movie. What's crazy is that these elements aren't the worst part of this entire film taking place on a plane. It's not the stalling or the bad visuals, it's the fact that this movie just starts reusing conflicts to mess up the protagonist. They let something bad happen to them 2 times, and both times they had the opportunity just to check on that bad thing so it wouldn't hurt them. And the first time it happens, it's so dumb because it was so easy for them to notice what was going on. But the second time it happens is even worse because they already know the bad thing might harm them, but they just keep ignoring it, and wow, they got screwed over again, who would have guessed? Yeah, it's really horrible, and this is pretty much throughout the entire film. Overall, this movie was big bad, not good. My favorite aspect, I guess, was that Mark Wahlberg is an okay actor, and the worst aspect was probably the terrible pacing and repetitiveness. So I'm gonna give Flight Risk a high 2 out of 10. Currently the best film of the year. Okay, I'm gonna start doing this in my reviews now, so here are my upcoming videos. M&A Episode 3. Yes, it's coming out next month, okay? I swear it's actually gonna happen this time. Dogman review, I guess, in a couple of days, and another big music ranking at the end of this month. Lastly, leave a like if you liked the video and subscribe, because I'm trying to hit 1,000 subscribers by the end of the year, and hopefully that happens. So thanks for watching, and this is an epic outro.